So I imagine New York City still as dirty and rotten and disgusting as it's always been. You know, they hate me there, Arn. Ever since I took Bruno Sammartino and pounded him into retirement, they have hailed me as the legend. Well, I'll tell you something, Halloween Havoc, we're going in against the Patriots, Chip and Todd. Chip is going to be dressed, I hear, as a human fire hydrant, while Todd Champion is wearing the costume of a piece of shrubbery from the desert. Us, my friends, are going as you see us, as the last two real men on the face of the planet.
Do you ever wonder why all the other teams are wallowing in mediocrity? They're trying to figure out who can get the most flowers, the most boas wrapped around their neck, can play a trumpet, come into the ring, anything to get someone's attention. Well, we figured out one way to shine. We don't need glitter, we don't need fancy robes, fancy tights. That is to go to every arena, and especially in a violent city like New York, and just simply beat whoever comes out the other curtain. That's why we're the World Tag Team Champions. That's why we stand alone in this sport. So New York City, understand one thing: when we come your way, you are looking at the very best.
We had, say what? A whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's house,
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the distant edition, it's all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
Welcome to the jungle, welcome to the pain. Ringtown Pro Wrestling is back at it again. Keith and Keisha the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hey, what's going on, people? What's happening?
Hello, America. It is Wednesday night. We do this. We won't talk TNA and NXT, of course, because it is going on while we are in production. Solid week last week. We're going to start this show off a little different because we're going to talk New Japan, significance of this event, and why I thought it was a big deal. And I'll go down the card. But, Keish, how was your week?
It was all right. My week always goes a little rough, you know. This is my off day, so to me, it's like my Saturday. So, of course, I go through the week just trying to get through work without strangling somebody. You know, that's just pretty much how that goes. So my week was cool, though. I mean, it was all right. I'm just glad it is over. So how was your week?
Very solid. A lot going on, big things popping at work, and now I'm here sitting down ready to talk about some wrestling. I got a little short rant just about life in general and things I've seen. People complain, celebrities and wrestlers and personalities on television, they always got to complain about bloggers and podcasters, particularly bloggers. And they say stuff like the bloggers and the bloggers this very disparagingly. Look, man, just because you read something on a blog that messed up your day, or because you didn't like what you saw on a blog here or there, don't say the blogs like everybody who blog ain't shit. There's some ain't shit bloggers out there, but for the most part, there's people who do things in their free time for their enjoyment, and maybe they had a problem with something that you did that they paid their money for, and you know you sucked in it.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm just saying, I hate the way they characterize a whole group of people based on the actions of a few, and who say the actions of those few ain't unjustified. They expressing their opinion in their space. Guess what? You don't like it? Hey, open your own shop. The internet's free, man.
All right.
There's a place everywhere. Knock yourself out. Anyway, I'm done, Keish, with that.
Hey.
So, Sunday night going into Monday morning, Keish, I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch the King of Pro Wrestling in New Japan. It was on New Japan World, but this one was a little different, Keish. The commentary was available in English. Kevin Kelly of ROH and Matt Striker of Lucha Underground called the matches. They had to work on their chemistry. Seemed a little odd, even at some point in the show. But all in all, they got it together. It was very interesting watching a live New Japan event with English commentary. Never did it before. Didn't do it last year with Wrestle Kingdom. I watched it on New Japan World. That's it. Very interesting. Very interesting to see how it all works itself out.
Yeah.
But so far so good. Great execution on the first one. I thought there was a lot of lag. There was some technical difficulties. Had to refresh the browser a lot. And I talked to a lot of people who were up at that time, and they had to go through some of the same thing. So I think going to English and having that second broadcast and having a whole secondary, I don't know if they had a secondary server or not. They're still trying to get to the conference on the same server. They're trying to stream high quality. I don't know if it all worked out, right? I really don't, but as far as outside looking in, early perception, everything looked okay. And it was a hell of a show, Keish. Hell of a show. I'm not going to go too far all into it, but I'll go over the major highlights, if that so appeases the crowd. Because we do more than just WWE and TNA here, even though, hell, it seems like it's 99.9% WWE, if I'm not mistaken. But it is the most popular thing out there, right? Can they fault us for that, Keish?
I mean, I agree wholeheartedly.
All right. So yeah, going down, the first event was a 10-man tag, which I thought was a very interesting situation. You had the Young Lions versus the Legends of New Japan. And one of the Young Lions, Juice Robinson, the guy looks very entertaining, like he's got a bright future. And also one of the Young Lions was a guy named David Finlay. And I'm like, who recognize the name? Son of Fit Finlay. So it's good to see Fit got his kid out here in the wrestling game, which means he's probably going to be tough as nails. And he out here wrestling in New Japan, so he's really going to be tough because he learned the hard way. That team took on a team of Jushin Liger, Tiger Mask, Kushida, Mascara Dorita, which translates to Golden Mask from CMLL, and Taguchi. The long story short, the Legends won. Crazy action all over the place. The Heroes got too cocky. Well, I don't know if I want to say Heroes. I'll say young guys got too cocky and left time on the clock, and then when people could find something to take you down, they take you down. Next match was Hanma versus Yoshi-Hashi, trying to get to Wrestle Kingdom 10. I think they're going to challenge for the Open Gate belt. Hanma won. Not too crazy. 8-man tag team tag was pretty interesting, and had a lot of the New Japan faithful there, and it was cool to see. Highlights: IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. Reed Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish took on Roppongi Vice, which is Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. Shout out to Trent Beretta, man. Trey Locke's working it hard over in Japan. We really didn't know what he was going to do after the WWE, but he's showing out. I'll say this too for Reed Dragon. They lost a lot of miles. Lost a lot of miles. Because you got to understand, the Hero Stateside wrestling ROH all the time. They had just about every ROH event. And then they hit a lot of New Japan events.
Yeah, true. That is true.
Excellent match. Great, good tag team wrestling. I like teams that are concentrated on being teams. How do we dress alike? How do we look alike? How do we do our mannerisms in a ring? That's the essence of tag team wrestling. Showed off good here at this event. Reed Dragon retains the junior heavyweight titles. I IWGP Junior title, the individual title. Kenny Omega defended his title against Matt Sydal. Some of you know as Evan Bourne. Solid match. They kept the flying to a minimal. It was a little bit more mat wrestling than people might have expected, but it still turned out pretty good. Kenny Omega kept the belt. Then we get towards the main events and the highlights. You got a 6-man tag team title. Not 6-man tag team title. This is a 6-man tag match with the Bullet Club, represented by Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Bad Luck Fale against Yano, my main man Nakamura, the Intercontinental champion over there now, and Sakuraba, and the Japanese team tends to end up winning. There's a stare down because there's an interesting storyline here. Carl Anderson, I guess, is going to be coming after the IC belt for Nakamura, and we'll see if he's successful. This whole event, King of Pro Wrestling, was setting up for Wrestle Kingdom. Like, I think all the titles that change hands, they're going to stick around, and that's how they advertise it. Like, oh, this is the match to see who goes where. So they're going to have other events, but basically they already decided where the title's going to go and had the people in place for Slammiversary. I said Slammiversary. Wrestle Kingdom 10, right? Right. So we'll see how it all goes down. They had the IWGP Golden Ticket match. Basically, the winner gets their shot at the champion. Tanahashi faced Naito, and Tanahashi won, of course, which I think we're setting up for Wrestle Kingdom 10. Hell of a main event for Wrestle Kingdom 9, so we'll revisit it with a rematch with the titles kind of in different places.
Right.
So I think that's where we're going to be at with that. So, and all the stars end up aligning. And like I said, Tanahashi won. And then the main event was AJ Styles versus Okada, the Rainmaker, the champ, New Japan Pro Wrestling out there in these streets. And AJ was accompanied by the bulk of the Bullet Club, but it didn't matter. It really didn't matter because Okada still won. That was the longest match of the evening. It went about 30 minutes. Very solid performances by all people involved. And very good show, man. Very good pay-per-view. I recommend if you don't have New Japan World, get it. It's $9.99 yen, which works its way out to be about $8.40 a month in US. Get it. Love it. Because, I mean, I enjoyed it.
It's definitely worth it. I think some people, I don't know how many people out there watching New Japan are that in tune with it on a regular basis, but it's definitely something to look into. Even if you haven't been into New Japan, I mean, it's definitely worth trying out, you know? Like, it'll be a great outlet for you to make your introduction into watching Japan, especially with the options that you have watching New Japan World and getting into that particular company. So, because they have a lot to offer. Japan definitely has a lot to offer.
I think the thing is, if you're looking for an alternate wrestling product, this is something you can really invest in. High production values, extremely talented wrestlers, fast-paced, energetic, and it's stiff. Like, they work really snug in Japan. They don't leave a lot of room for interpretation. Like, it's pretty much straight down the line, like slaps, kicks, like you hear it. And like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed having the time to sit up. Now, you do have to get up at wee hours of the morning because it's that 12-hour, 13-hour time difference. But even with New Japan World, it's on demand, so maybe you don't get up Stay up in bed. Just watch it in the morning when you wake up. I didn't have to work Monday, so I got up. Wife thought I was crazy. I was like, yeah, about to get up at 3, go watch some wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, no. I've done it before. Definitely have done it before, just randomly waking up in the middle of the night on my off days when I'm home and just randomly watching different types of wrestling stuff, wrestling videos, wrestling pay-per-views, or just wrestling, live wrestling. It ain't far-fetched. It is not far-fetched. There's people out there that take blocks out their day watching wrestling. And so, trust and believe, there's somebody out there there's plenty of people out there that understand exactly where you're coming from. Of course, if it's somebody like me, I work at night, so I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning 5 days a week anyway. So, like, if I had the free time, if I was available to watch it, which I'm not, I would, trust. Like, I would definitely be sitting there just watching it at 3 o'clock in the morning, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So.
Right. So, like I said, we'll do a show a little different. I think what we're going to do is we're not even going to break right now. We'll do the break after the news and the birthday segment. And the last segment will be all about Raw and WWE. And then we'll wrap it up there and let you guys go home. So, I say let you guys go home like I have opened up a room and you guys are a captive audience.
Hey, man.
And you know what I mean?
That's how you should feel. That's how I feel, you know. They are a captive audience, and we are just here to make sure that they are fully entertained. Ha ha. Hey, it happens sometimes, okay?
All right.
Maybe my crazy.
So, birthdays. I'll keep it easy. 2 days ago would have been the 12th, which would have been Monday, and that's the late Dusty Rhodes' birthday, and also Karen Jarrett celebrated the birthday on that day. Right. Today, October 14th, Stacy Keibler, she got legs herself. The lady who used to roll around with George Clooney turns 36 today. Tomorrow, Joey Abs celebrates the birthday. We're part of the Mean Street Posse. Friday, 16th, Just Incredible, who ECW star, spent a little time with WE, will be celebrating the birthday also. And that's it for the birthdays. So now it's time for the news.
Oh, Lord.
Have you heard the good news? Have you heard the good news?
Well, what's funny is that every time we do the news, about 50% of it ain't good. I'm just saying. 50% of it, you have to really just be like,
Oh, I'm going to hit you with the hard hitting then. I'm going to hit you with the best news of probably the last week or so. Rusev and Lana are engaged in real life.
Ooh. Like, that take you back for a minute. Like, word? Is that really how that goes? But yeah, I've seen that for the first time today, and I was just kind of like, wow, you know?
No, TMZ broke the story. You can't hide from TMZ. There's pictures of a lot of flash and rig. I think they kind of wanted people to know. I think everybody was tired of that Summer Rae storyline, which was hilariously terrible.
Exactly. It was awful. And I'm glad that they've gotten away from that because it was seriously annoying. Like it was seriously annoying. So I'm so glad that they kind of swayed away from that all the way around. You know, I don't think they need to ever revisit that ever again. Right? It just needs to just no.
Well, I think there's some squiddling going on too. So
right. Yeah, it's. I guess it's just really kind of weird, you know, almost. But at the same time, it's congratulations are in order.
No,
definitely.
It's not weird. I mean, they're a real life couple. I think what happened, honestly, I think they was stuck to their tired before they forced the storyline hands. Now the question is, how are they gonna survive from this?
Right.
Because it looked like Rusev looked very uncomfortable last week on Raw, and I'm like, oh god, is this where they gonna start punishing him?
Exactly. Because you know, like, that's exactly what could end up happening. And look, all we got to do is watch for the next couple of weeks. If he doesn't win a match for, like, the next 2 or 3 weeks, give or take, we already know what's going down. Like, we already know what's happening, and we can just take it from there. Like, we definitely know that if he does not win another match for, like, a good month, we already know what's going on. Like,
Right.
every person that could just catch on to it just like that. Within a split second, understand that, yep, he's being punished. Yep, we know what's going on. Yep, he didn't got on their backside. Yep, it's a wrap. And
Right.
no one knows when exactly he's going to come back, you know? Because they just randomly do that with people. Like, when they start punishing them, it's just like, it could take them months to even get back to coming anywhere closer to
Right.
being in the good graces again. It just comes out of nowhere.
Right. So, we're interested to see how that plays itself out. But Keisha, that wasn't sad.
No, not at all. It's actually happy news. It's great news.
Like I said, I want to see now how they book him. And, you know, does he do the babyface turn? Does Lana go back to being a heel? Did they get weapons from foreign governments during the contract? You know what I mean? Questions. So many questions. So, you know, let's go back through. ESPN and WWE will launch a weekly segment.
Right.
Seth Rollins was on Sports Center earlier this morning, if people missed it. But apparently, weekly, they will be doing a segment on Sports Center recapping the week in the WWE. Seth Rollins was interviewed by Coach Jonathan Coachman. Y'all know Coach, former WWE announcer. Tonight at 9 p.m., they were interviewed, and that was interesting. And also, the WrestleMania 32 travel packages are sold out. So, woohoo, and build a soup. You gotta excuse me for not being more prepared, but
Hey,
man, rough week. They're gonna be a George's Gorge bio done for WWE Studios. I think that's gonna be awesome.
it's going to be awesome.
I think
It says it won't.
people need to learn about Gorgeous George.
Of course.
And they'll chronicle his life and his career and his pioneers as the beginning of. Because when George got big, it was the 1940s. So, like, TV just came. So
Right.
the 40s and the 50s were the first time people got in the living room. Now, let me tell you something interesting. Gorgeous George you know who got his style from Gorgeous George? Muhammad Ali. What to be like Gorgeous George is how he got that style and that flair, talk junk, stuff like that. So, let's give you a background who George was and how revered Gorgeous George was at the time in his day. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy was the pro wrestler at the time. Hot new streets. Other than that, don't really know. Hey man, it ain't a lot of news and notes going on.
Well, I definitely want to throw out something to the people. If you haven't been keeping up, for those of you that have the network, if you haven't been keeping up with the Table for Three series, please watch it, people. Keith, I thank you for even introducing me to this, because I am like thoroughly enthused with the entire series. I have watched every episode, and the latest episode actually came out earlier today, and it was WCW Legends, Sting, DDP, and Vader. I haven't watched that one yet. I am like too excited to watch it, but that hasn't been one I have yet. That's one I have yet to see. The last one before that one was Brass Ring with Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Dean Ambrose. If you haven't watched it, please watch it, because one of the highlights of that particular episode was them talking about their days in the indies. And I think that if you didn't know them as wrestlers before they were in the WWE, this is a great chance to get an insight on what it was like for them before they made it into the WWE and their developmental tools and everything. Like it's incredible to hear their stories about what it was like for them to transition and, getting used to the amount of money they were making and all that kind of stuff. Like, very, very informative. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy watching Table for Three, because not only is it hilarious, because I can guarantee you, like, every episode you're going to watch is going to be funny moments, but it also is very insightful on how the wrestlers had treated, like, certain situations, how they treated just certain entities of, like, the things they dealt with in the business and all that kind of stuff. I love it. Like, I am way too attached. I'm way too attached to this series, but I find it to be very, very enjoyable. And I have to wonder, and it's a new episode every week. The episodes are only like 25 minutes or so. So it's not long to watch, but trust me, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. That was my little plug into the news, but I know it's not really news, but hey, it's news to me. Yeah. Gotta throw that out there. Cause I know that I plan to, as soon as I get the chance to, I plan to watch the new episode with the WCW legends, because I can't wait to hear what they have to say. Like, I think that's one of the reasons why I love watching Table for Three so much, because you don't know what exactly is going to be said during the show. It's definitely just a conversation, but it's a conversation about great topics that people have been having so many questions about. And it definitely gives you a chance to get these answers almost. It might not be everything that you question, but it gives you a good chance to get the answers of most of the stuff you asked about particular people, like how the New Day felt about getting together, how Daniel Bryan and Ryback and Dolph Ziggler felt about winning the IC title, those kind of things. Like, these are just random things that we're talking about in this random episode, about the episodes that was actually already out. So I need to know what this new episode is going to be like, but I'm excited to see it. So I'm definitely going to watch it. And I suggest that everybody that has the network, you watch it. If you don't have the network, get the network and watch it, because it's worth watching. I think that's it.
Okay.
I know that really wasn't news, but I had to go ahead and throw that in there.
On the flip side of that, we will come back off the break. We'll do the break, and then we'll get out. We'll do Raw, and we'll get out of here. Peace. See you in a minute.
But can it be applied, and will it be effective when they take on Williams and Gordy tonight on pay-per-view in less than 1 hour? Be sure to call your local cable company. And right now, let's go. The Dusty Rhodes and the Steiner Brothers.
Make no mistake about it. Dusty Rhodes going on record saying the greatest tag team in the world today are the Steiner Brothers, and you see them live and in color. But let me tell you something, Scotty. Right upon you right now, the great American Bash is coming July. You're talking about the NWA Tag Team Tournament, and you're talking about Dr. Dusty Williams, Terry Gotti saying they're better than you. Who? I don't believe that. Tell me about it, baby. You know, Dusty Rhodes, me and my brother have trained all my life to be the best tag team in the world, to be the best tag team, best wrestlers in the world. And for Dr. Dusty Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy say they're the best, they're going to have to come over here and prove it. Oh, you know that's right. Thing, Dusty. And for them to say the Japanese better and all this, that's a bunch of bull. My blood, my brother's blood, all these blood here run red, white, and blue. Oh, let me tell you, he's right there. Tell me about it, baby. Oh, my brother's excited. Dr. Death, Gordy, you want to come over here and prove something to me and my brother? We ain't afraid of no man, walking, crawling, whatever it is. You come over and prove it to us. It's live, it's color, it's WCW Saturday night. Let's go away from this, baby.
Ready?
All right, everybody, we on it. We back. Keith, I neglected to mention in the news. Sami Zayn will be working 2 pay-per-view events this weekend for Evolve 49 and Evolve 50. He is loaned out by. He's not left the WWE. He has been loaned out by Triple H for this event. So when you talk about having a serious relationship with another company, it looks like Triple H can actually do it. Interesting to see how it all works out.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully, what they'll do is they'll get guys from over there and let them go down to NXT, try some things out, see where they at, and you know, we'll have a good time with it, right?
Right. Of course.
Okay. But let's get to Raw.
Lord, geez.
Interesting. The Authority wasn't there. They couldn't make it. Kane was in charge. Kane immediately books himself in a lumberjack match with Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Of course, Kane would pull a move like that. Why wouldn't he? He's in charge, remember? Got to make the show interesting. Got to do what's best for business. Definitely was a great move, best for business.
So, how'd you feel about the New Day?
Oh, let's talk about that real quick because the New Day and their shenanigans, they get so ridiculous. You got Xavier coming out here with his trombone, and I just can't. Big E and Kofi adding to it, and then it's just like ridiculousness at its best. First of all, I'm gonna really need for them not to be using rap lyrics in there and their antics. Like, just stop it. Just no. Like I can't. Second of all, are we really just naming off all of the factions that Dean Ambrose and Randy were in? Like, are you kidding me? You know, it was so ridiculous. Like, I have to honestly say though, like their whole thing was just, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. But man, they went in. Like, it was just kind of like, are y'all serious? Who wrote this? Like, for real? I can't with them. Like, I just can't. Every week I watch just to see what they're going to do next, because with the New Day, it's now gotten to a point where every week it's a little something different every week, and you just really don't know like what's going to come out their mouths, what they're going to say, how this is going to go. But it's funny to me. Like, I really seriously have to give it up to them for keeping it together, because man, I'm not gonna lie to you, Keith, that couldn't be me, because I would want to laugh. Like, every 5 seconds I would just want to die laughing. I couldn't keep in a character. I don't see how they do it, but they definitely get my applause for it, because they're crazy. They are crazy. Something wrong with them. Like, I don't know, but yeah, it was kind of awesome.
Get on my level. Get on my level.
Yeah, I was done. I was so done. Like, I was just like, y'all got that. Like, I was just like, y'all got that. I'm done. I'm gonna go sit over here in my corner. Please feel to join me if you want to. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
So, and it's so funny because there's a lot of wrestling fans out there that won't even know what the hell that means. and it's just kind of like, oh, oh, poor babies.
Yeah, I think it'll figure itself out though. Interesting match in the U.S. Open Challenge. So Dolph Ziggler accepted John Cena's Open Challenge. It was some very Heart Foundation like trunks. Guy won by pinfall, but was without controversy. Ref got his, I think the archers had their foot on the rope or whatever at the last second.
Right.
Here's what I'll go with. This could turn into something. Either A, this is a work because of Total Divas. B,
right.
it's a work, but it's a shoot on the other side of this equation. I don't really know how to call it or categorize it. I'll say this. I hope this is not the idea of looking at something bigger than just a one-off, just to show what Ziggler can do. You know, is what it is. It was good to see Team Bad in the house.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we had a
I'm
match.
so glad we got to see them. Jesus. They need to be on TV more. They definitely need to be on TV more. I love Team Bad. I'm liking Sasha. Are we feeling Sasha? Because I'm feeling. It's funny because I started feeling Sasha when she was in NXT, but now I definitely am on her side. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that was that main roster Jordan, and Chicago loved her because they kept chanting Sasha. We want Sasha, to the point it got a little distracted out there, but it was interesting.
Right.
Hey man, poor Connor and Victor. The Dudley boys just beat the hell out of them.
Man, look, I really just, what are they doing with Connor and Victor? Is this just like their MO now? Like, I just really want to know.
It's the old creative has nothing for you. They'll do some matches with some people and stuff like that, but they kind of, you know, until some other teams get fused back together and everybody can play nice, they probably gonna chill out for a minute.
Yeah, true. But man, ooh, Monday. That's the only way you can react to it. Oh my God.
Right.
Ooh, it was awful. But hey, it is what it is.
Right. So what did you think about the Demon Kane beating Seth Rollins in the Lumberjack match?
Man, okay. So, I am not a particular fan of Lumberjack matches. I don't know if people know this or not, but I really, I'm not into them that much just because of the simple fact that, to me, it's just like a waiting game of who's going to get beat up first. You know? I think it's fun to watch at times, but most of the time, I'm not really a huge fan of Lumberjack matches. Like, especially if the Lumberjacks really don't do much, you know? I expect every time somebody jumps out the ring to get this, everybody gets their ass kicked, and then they toss them back in, you know? I find that to be hilarious. But at the same time, you know, it don't necessarily have to happen that way. I thought that the match between Kane and Seth was weird. Like, I wouldn't say weird. I really don't know how to describe that particular match itself, but it made me wonder, like, why did Kane choose a Lumberjack match to do with Seth? You know, was it just because he didn't like him that much and he just thought this would be a great way to kind of get back at him? Like, I never really understood it too much. I had to withdraw from it because it was just kind of like a regular match would have been one thing, but then you choose to have Lumberjacks. Like, it was just, I really didn't get that element of it. I just really wanted to try and make sense of it, but it is what it is. I mean, like I said, like, Lumberjacks at times can be on split to be on both, well, one side or the other. Of course, you got the heel Lumberjacks, and then you have the face Lumberjacks. So if they are split, then the heel's gonna beat up the face, and the face is gonna beat up the heel. Like, it's just, it gets crazy. And then it randomly it can just turn into some big ass brawl. So then the match just becomes obsolete. like the match between two people that's in the ring just becomes it just withdraws itself. So it's, I was a fan of Seth and Kane facing each other. I don't know if I was a big fan of the lumberjack match happening all together. But it is what it is. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts of the match. I mean, I thought it was a great match nonetheless. But at the same time, I just thought that element of it just made it kind of blur. Because I'm not a big fan of lumberjack matches, so I really can't even tell you, I can't even sit here and say, oh my God, it was so wonderful. Because to tell the truth, I don't really think that way. When it comes to those types of matches.
Right. So, with that, what a lot really run down, Keish.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, we took a break, and it might not really be that much of a break. I don't have nothing else, man. It was just a week that it was.
Yeah. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. It can be like this sometimes. And it's okay. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, people know. The people know out there. So, it is what it is. Definitely. But, of course, we'll be back next week. And I'm pretty sure next week we'll have more stuff. Definitely have more stuff. So, because there's no telling what can happen in the next week. But it will. I mean, matter of fact, I can tell you, next week I definitely will have my opinion of the Table for Three series. As a matter of fact, I need to write about that. Keith might need to put that give that to you, put it on the website, because I have to get in on this. This could be my thing. I'm excited. Right. I'm definitely excited. See, people, that's how you brainstorm, is in 5 seconds of thinking of something else. It is awesomeness. That's what I'm calling it. Complete awesomeness. All right, Keith. Ready?
We are out. We'll holler at you next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Kevin Owens, this Sunday at Elimination Chamber, you will be facing John Cena in what is being dubbed as a champion versus champion match. We've been able to see what you've inflicted on Sami Zayn at NXT, and you've claimed that that's not a personal matter, but now with John Cena, is this personal for you, between you and John?
You know what, Renee? I think it might be personal. And it actually hadn't occurred to me until you just said it. See, because I came here and did what I did to John a few weeks ago on Raw because he was taking credit for Sami Zayn's injury when, as I've explained many times, that injury is mine. I caused it. You were there, you remember, right? But now that you put it this way, there's something deeper to it. See, because ever since I've gotten here in WWE, I've realized that everybody lives in John Cena land. From the higher ups to the decision makers to the crew that sets up the arena, and everybody in between. John Cena this, John Cena that. Well, where I came from, there was no John Cena. Actually, where I came from, I was John Cena. I'm the one people looked up to. So, with that in mind, I literally physically can't come here and do like everybody else and praise John Cena and let him take credit for something I did. So this Sunday at Elimination Chamber, not only am I going to set the record straight, but I'm going to show the entire WWE universe and you, because I want to make sure you see it too, that the real champ is, come on,
here.
got it.
Thanks. Thank you very much for your time.